Are you looking to start a business with low competition, high demand, and high profits? Yes! If your answer is yes, then keep watching. Starting a business, a profitable business, without quitting your 9-to-5 job or your regular job has never been more possible than it is now. There has never been a better time to start than today. For the last 6 years, I have been running a couple small businesses that generate me over $20 million in revenue each year. These are easy to start now, but you need to act fast. Later, it will become a lot harder to get started, and the low competition will not be there forever. It will be harder to start, but it will also be harder to stand out as a new business. We're going to focus on businesses that you can start with low investment and that you can run on your extra time without quitting your 9-to-5, at least not yet. The great thing about these businesses is that the demand is there, and all you need to do is start and you will grow. So let's break down each business and talk about the business model that you can use to run them and talk about how profitable these businesses can be. The focus is gonna be in high ticket services with bigger earning potentials and not really waste our time with side businesses with low growth potential or that cannot be scaled. So let's dive in. After I give you my list, I'm gonna give you a few actionable steps you can take to get started, so make sure you watch until the end. Business number 1, couch and mattress cleaning. This service has low competition, especially online. One of my own businesses consists of delivering furniture for major retailers, and I can tell you that this service is requested very often, and most customers have no idea where to even go to get this service done for them. Sometimes, some of the products that my own crews use to help out the customers is things like Eco 88 or baking soda or just a rag and cleaning cloth, and they help the customers and they get compensated for that most of the time. You can expect to earn anywhere between $100 to $1,000 per job. Remember, most of the customers will have more than one piece that they need to get cleaned, so you can upsell your services most of the time and your cost basically stays the same. I know some independent contractors that are doing this. Some of them were part of my crew before, and they're earning up to $1,000 a day doing this. Most of them schedule in a single day or 2 days a week. That way they can knock out a couple different customers in the same day, and they're charging them $200, $300, $400 per service. Think about it. A new piece most of the time costs you a few $1,000s, right? If you need to replace a couch or a sofa or a mattress. But if you can offer the service, that customer, that client can extend that life of that piece maybe a couple years more. Next, let's talk about business number 2, table and chair rentals. This service has very high search volume with very low competition, especially when you target specific areas. You will need to invest in buying 1 or 2 sets to get started and scale from there. You can advertise these services in platforms like OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, but if you build a simple website, your offering will stand out from the rest, and you will be able to charge a bit more for your services. You can expect to rent each set for about $100 plus delivery fee. But if you offer bundles, you will see your ticket value increase, and that will allow you to make more profit. This business is super scalable. Now, business number 3, sandblasting. This business has high search volume and very low competition, especially if you focus in a local area. Metro areas have the highest demand for this service, but you could really make this work anywhere. You could buy a small sandblaster and start advertising the services. One plus that you can add that most people, at least in my area, don't offer is pickup and delivery, for a charge, obviously. I know from my own experience that pickup and delivery is not something that is usually offered, and that will make your advertising or your offering stand out. With a small sandblaster, you are limited to the types of job that you can take on, but you should easily expect to charge around $100 per piece plus pickup and delivery fees. From my own experience, when I needed this service, I was getting quoted $100 to $500 per piece, depending on the type of service that I was expecting. Business number 4, photo booth rental. Photo booth rentals is a niche that has high search volume and low competition, at least in most areas, allowing you to be creative and have consistent rentals. Buying a machine for your setup should not cost you more than a few $100s, especially if you buy used. And then having different themes for your setup will allow you to market to more people in your areas. You can target events like weddings, birthdays, graduations, and baby showers, but really any kind of events that are popular in your area. And if you offer this, you should basically be covered for all events and be able to offer to a bigger audience. Advertise in platforms like OfferUp, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace, and you should be off to a good start. Remember, this service will require you to do delivery and pickup, so make sure you include that in your ads. And you should be aiming to charge anywhere between $200 and $600 per event. Once you have a couple machines running and you're able to scale, you should be making decent money. A bonus with this business is that this business usually gets busy only during the weekends, so you could do this on your weekends and be able to keep your current job. Now let's move on to business number 5, mobile barber. There's a gap between the demand and the supply for this type of business. You can approach businesses and offer a discounted rate to access their people and advertise directly to them. Even offer to pay a commission. You can focus on both residential and commercial areas, but businesses like retail or sales or medical facilities, car dealerships, they have a very high expectation of their staff and their appearance. So offering your services to them and gaining access to their employees should be something that you can accomplish. Once you establish a route, you can start expanding by hiring other barbers and taking on other clients. Yeah, you will also need to gain access to specialized equipment like a van or a truck that is outfitted to do this kind of business. And you also need to learn how to cut hair, but cutting hair is not as hard and it should only take a couple weeks of practice to actually get it down. I learned to cut hair when I was 17 years old and it took me just a couple weeks of practice. With a mobile barber station, you should be charging about the same as a local barber in your area. Your benefit is that you are guaranteeing a workload and having consistent cash flow. One tip to get you started if you don't know how to cut hair already will be to partner up with an actual barber that already knows how to cut hair and allow him to do the actual cutting of the hair while you learn. You can also learn from him, get some practice, and at the same time you're scaling your business. Next we have business number 6, mobile window repair. This type of service might require some time to get going and start getting customers, but you can easily advertise directly to customers by knocking on the doors. There are companies that offer repair and also can upsell their offerings by offering things like window tinting or even replacements. This business has low startup costs but high profit margins. It will require to learn some basics about the trade, but it does not require a whole lot of experience. As a side business, I would suggest advertising in local newsletters, but the best approach will be to go door to door and offer your services, especially if you can see from the outside that they are needing your services. I have had some of this work quoted for me for my own house, and the local cost for me has been anywhere between $100 to $600 per window, depending on the type of repairs. Alright, next we have business number 7, retrofitting houses and homes for aging people. This business is focused on customers that are aging and that want to stay on their own current home. Our aging population, so people that are getting older, continues to grow and is expected to continue to grow for some time. As people get older, their mobility gets impacted and they need to outfit their house to fit their mobility capabilities at that time. Things like grab bars, stair lifts, porch handrails, ramps, and other things like that. On top of that, there are many programs for these type of businesses and many of them guarantee volume or revenue and even grants to get you started. You will need to be handy enough or hire someone that is handy enough to actually complete the work. But there are many jobs that are covered by the VA or Medicaid programs, and some of those projects pay even more than $100,000 per project. Margins are very high and competition is still very low. So opportunities are always there. All you gotta do is start and find those opportunities. Here are some actionable steps you could take to get started. Number 1, identify your skills, interests, and resources to determine the most suitable business for you. Number 2, conduct research on your options. Start by looking at startup costs, market demand, and potential profits. Use platforms like Google Trends, Craigslist, OfferUp, and Marketplace to research and find out what your competition is doing. Try to find as much as possible about your competition and see if you find any negative comments on reviews or Yelp or whatever, and capitalize on that. Step number 3, develop a business plan outlining your services, pricing, marketing strategies, and your financial projections for that business. This will help you stay on track and get financing if you need it. Step number 4, get the basic necessary equipment, licenses, insurance, and make sure you are in compliance with any local or state regulations. Then step number 5 is aggressively market your services using online platforms, social media, door-to-door knocking, and networking. Many times you can leverage what other businesses are already doing and piggyback off of their own customers. For example, a company that already does painting can refer your services for window repairs or couch cleaning, stuff like that. Have an agreement with them, maybe they get a commission, but you could be leveraging their customer base for your own advantage. Now, final tips for improving your chances of success. Number 1, focus on commercial clients. Number 2, target high value ticket sales. The higher the better. Number 3, use online tools and websites to stand out and advertise. Number 4, check with your local and state laws to make sure that you are in compliance with everything before you get started. And finally, number 5, this one helps you and helps me. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video, and let's grow together.